Hi, my name is Bobby Douglas. I'm here today to talk to you about the BA100 cohort study. This is a study that looks into the effectiveness of a cohort system in the business program at Southern Oregon University. My partner in this study, Karen Coffelt, did the vast majority of work on these slides, and therefore I'm going to be conducting the presentation for you today. The problem is that Southern Oregon University has been facing budget challenges and is currently up against a $1.6 million budget cut. Their increased marketing and recruitment in the past has not rendered sustainable enrollment. California has also seen increases in budgets within its higher education system, and this could potentially have a negative impact on neighboring states like Oregon. A 1% drop in SOU student full-time equivalency translates to a $1 million loss in revenues. That's roughly $20,000 per student. In addition, SOU needs to increase enrollment retention or face more devastating budget losses. They intend to do this by turning first-year freshman students into graduating students. The proposal is to implement a cohort system, a pilot program in the School of Business, and the goal is to increase freshman retention by providing a positive first-year experience. The research objectives. Does the BA100 cohort system promote overall student satisfaction, better your first-year college experience, and improve retention rates? We'll aim to answer this with the following questions. Is there a difference in the characteristics of the students enrolled in the three sections of BA100? Is there a difference in student experience, perceptions, and plans for fall 2014 among the students of the three sections of BA100? Is there a difference in satisfaction level among the various student groups by category? Is there a difference in the plan for fall 2014 among the students in the three sections? Is there a difference in the plan for fall 2014 between the student type? What are the major reasons for student plans for not returning to SOU in 2014? So the research design. Our population or target population consists of the freshman business students. Our sample size is 140 students. We sent out a Qualtrics survey to all 140 students consisting of 13 questions. Our findings. We received 76 completed surveys. This is a completion percentage of 54%. Is there a difference in the characteristics of the students enrolled in the three sections of BA100? This bar graph depicts the differences in the three sections of BA100. The Ashland Monday section, the Ashland Saturday section, and the online section are the three sections of BA100 that we will be evaluating throughout this presentation. The p-value for this particular question is 0.00. Therefore, we must reject the null hypothesis because the p-value is less than 0.05. This bar graph depicts the student type by section of BA100. The p-value for this is also 0.00. Therefore, we must reject the null hypothesis because the p-value is less than 0.05. This graph depicts the age category by section of BA100. The p-value here is also 0.00, indicating we must reject the null hypothesis. This horizontal bar graph depicts the GPA by section of BA100. The p-value for this is 0.22. Therefore, we cannot reject the null hypothesis. Not rejecting the null hypothesis means that there is a correlation between the student GPA and the section of BA100 in which they are enrolled in. This graph depicts the gender type by section of BA100. The p-value for this is 0.52. Therefore, we cannot reject the null hypothesis, meaning there is a correlation between the student gender and the section of BA100 in which they are enrolled. The next question, is there a difference in student experience, perception, and plans for fall 2014 among the students of the three sections of BA100? This horizontal bar graph depicts the mean ratings by section of BA100. It is important to look at the bottom of this slide to see that an answer of a 1 to this statement says the student strongly agreed with the statement presented. A 2 is the student agreed, a 3 is a neutral, 4 is disagreed, and 5 is strongly disagreed. The p-values associated with each of these statements are depicted on the right side of the slide. Once again, p-values that are below 0.05 means that we will reject the null hypothesis. The next question, is there a difference in satisfaction level among the various student groups by category? This slide depicts a cross-tabulation between the sections of BA 100 and the level of agreement with the following statements. The statements are on the top side of the table. The p-values I've highlighted with a red box. All the p-values that are below 0.05 have the red boxes, and all the p-values that are above 0.05 do not have red boxes associated with them. The p-values that are under or below 0.05, we will reject the null hypothesis, while the p-values that are above the 0.05, we cannot reject the null hypothesis. This slide depicts one-way single-factor ANOVAs for difference in mean student satisfaction level between the three sections of BA 100. The important part that I want to direct your attention to are the red boxes on this slide. They are outlining the F value, the P value, and the F critical value. We will look at the F value and the F critical value. So if the F value is greater than the F critical value, we must reject the null hypothesis that the groups are equal. So for the first one-way single factor ANOVA, we compared the Ashland Monday class to the Ashland Saturday class. The F value is 7.56. This is greater than the F critical value of 4.6. Therefore, we must reject the null hypothesis that the groups are equal. This is the same for the second single factor one-way ANOVA on the Ashland Saturday class versus the online section. The F value for that was 4.73, while the F critical value was 4.6. Therefore, we must reject the null hypothesis that the groups are equal. However, the one-way single ANOVA for the online section versus Ashland Monday class, the F value was less than the critical value. This means we cannot reject the null hypothesis. Is there a difference in plan for fall 2014 among the various student groups by category? This table and figure depicts the p-value of 0.49 is greater than the p-value of 0.05. Therefore, we cannot reject the null hypothesis when it comes to the correlation of fall 2014 plan versus student type. This table and figure depicts fall 2014 plans by year level. The p-value is 0.32, which is greater than the p-value of 0.05, and therefore we cannot reject the null hypothesis. This table and figure depicts fall 2014 plans by section of BA 100. The p-value is 0.76, which is greater than 0.05, and therefore we cannot reject the null hypothesis. Based on all three of the p-values under this question, we can conclude that there is no difference in plan for fall 2014 by each of the student categories. What are the major reasons for students' plans to not return to SOU in the following fall term? This was an interesting one because out of 76 cases, only 3 answered that they were not returning the following fall term. The addition of a longitudinal study would increase the statistical validity associated with this question. With only 3 answers, it's hard to determine any real statistically viable result from this question. The conclusions for this BA 100 study is that there is no difference in fall 2014 plan by student groups. The majority of students will return next fall, and it confirms that the hypothesis that the cohort system promotes high student retention for this term. Recommendations and future studies. Implement the cohort system. Conduct a longitudinal study. A longitudinal study will be more comprehensive and will illustrate trends that happen over time. Give the survey in class instead of via email to increase completion rates. Thank you for taking the time out of your busy schedule to attend this presentation, and I'd be happy to field any questions that you might have.